know that I can eat now, but man, I am starving.
Yeah, I feel like throughout the prep, I mean, almost daily, I would check in and you're like, nope, I'm good. I'm not even hungry. I'm not craving stuff. And then Saturday would come, you'd eat up, and then we'd be back at it on Sunday.
Though that Saturday meal, I'll tell you what, I think that changes everything. Because I was talking to a girl, we were getting tanned, and she said she has eaten, no joke, and I know you've heard this,
Hmm.
cod and chicken and egg whites for 6 months straight with no refeed, no nothing.
Foolish.
Right. And I was like, she's like, what are you craving? What are you going to eat? I'm like, to be honest with you, I'm choking down food right now. I am so full.
Yeah. And the thing is too, it's like the educated coaches like you guys know it does a lot more, physically, but it does a huge amount mentally when you can go out with your significant other or your
Mhm.
friends, your family, and just have that social event and just be like, you know what? Just for an hour or two, I can be a normal person and just not think about prep.
Hmm.
I tell people this all the time. Like it's not a cheat meal and it's not a refeed like you think that it is. 9 out of 10 times, they're just a mental break.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Just to be like, oh great, I don't have to eat meal four again. Like I can have something normal. Like
For me,
you know,
it's the
we
fact that I did not weigh it and cook it. That's what it is for me.
yes.
That's huge.
It is.
Well, we'll get this party started. We'll introduce everyone. Of course, this is the Crushing Limits podcast. We got Coach Eric once again, Stephanie Santa Maria, and new IFBB Pro Ashley Starr.
Yay,
Welcome
Two
to the
time.
show.
Two time.
Two
two
times.
times.
Yes, absolutely. It's not gonna sink in yet. I'm telling you. It's gonna take maybe it'll never sink in. I don't know.
I almost hope it doesn't because then what's the point? Like I want to still feel like this was my goal and I'm still chasing it because it wasn't for me to get it and then stop. For me, it's to get it
Yes,
and then see how far I can go.
absolutely. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with stopping. We obviously know people that have done that, but it's just kind of like, what if? Like, what if you just kept going just to see?
I live in what if.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be good for me to just stop because I would like 10 years down the road regret that.
Hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think that the cool thing, at least, from my perspective, is that we had you on early, like a year ago, a year and a half ago when we started this thing. And then leading up to the show, the viewers have kind of gotten to see you go through the prep, talk a little bit about it. We've obviously all been rooting for you. And then now for everything to just unfold is just crazy.
It is definitely like it's so cliche, but it's literally like living your dream. Like I feel like I'm still living in an actual dream. And it's not so much just the, oh, new IFBB Pro. To be honest, it was the fact that I accomplished that myself because yeah, you make the plans, but I have to do it. I have to be the one.
Mhm.
But also it was the outpouring of love and support from very unexpected people. I think that is where it really felt like, holy crap, like what is actually going on? Because it was almost so overwhelming in such a good way.
Yeah. It's funny. I mean, we laugh about this, a lot. And we probably will always laugh about it. But, like leading up, I just kind of know. And like with my athletes, I never want to like give them the reward just yet because I never want someone to step off the pedal. Never. And the
Mhm.
the trophy, the pro card, it's never yours until it's in your hand and it's been announced, right? But like leading up, I'm like, I got a good feeling. And then, when we saw you a week out after you had left, I turned to Stephanie and Allie and I'm like, I think she's going to win this thing.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And like I had already thought about that too, but it was just seeing you in person, because it's a different story seeing in person for pictures, and I knew in person you always look better. So then when I had gotten that confirmation and you posed after that day, I was like, this has got to be it. It has to be like if we had a shot, this is the best shot that we have.
That's crazy. I was geeking out that day. I was so happy. The stars aligned, the fact that I got to see you guys before 1 week out. I'm like, this is perfect timing because
Yes.
any little tweaks that need to be made can be made.
Yeah. And it's always, we do this with everyone too. And I mean, you can't force a client to do it, but you know, as we get closer to once you can start to see more detail, we're always having clients send us videos because the video is going to tell a lot more than the pictures. And obviously, you guys know seeing someone in person is going to show even more than the video.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
So it's always super helpful. And I already knew too, just based off of, working together last year, where it's like you look so much better than the pictures.
I feel like that's the most tagged thing a competitor says when they send their coach their pictures. I look better in person.
Yeah.
I feel like I said that every single week. I'm like, I swear we're better in person.
Yeah. This time it was true.
Yeah, it was. I was telling the truth.
Yeah.
And then when I went up to your guys' gym, I am so jealous because I told Sam, I said, I know why everybody looks so good in their pictures, and it's different than mine because the lighting there is insane.
It's like impeccable lighting. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. I was like catching myself. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I hate to be like, we never try to let it pull us from the workout, but I'm like, when we're getting down there or like, we're feeling good, we're doing legs, and I'm like, we got to film this. Like the light's just too good. You got to film this set. Like, she's like, here we go again.
See, I don't work out with anybody, so nobody films me.
Same. Nobody films me,
Well,
but I do
You
work
guys
out
are
with someone.
the queens of tripods.
I
No,
never,
I don't film.
I
Chris is always so mad at me because I never send him any videos and he like demands them and I don't.
yeah.
Eric, I've been on her ass like the whole past year. I'm like, I don't actually believe you've trained because I've never seen you train. And then once in a blue moon, I'd get a video and I'd be like, damn, okay, that was impressive. Like,
Yeah, but why are the videos also not as good like as in person, you know? So then
Right.
we'd try to take one and then I'm like, I look like shit. What? I'm not sending this.
Delete.
Literally.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's funny too, because I was talking to Sam, obviously, and like I told him, I was like, dude, we got this. We got it, you know?
He was definitely in the same place as you. He was like ultra hype man and he was trying to he's so level-headed, which is why he's such a great police officer because he sees reality, he feels emotions and he's in the middle, you know?
Hmm.
And he was just I think trying so hard not to tell me that he really believed it was going to happen because it's kind of my fault because I would look at him and be like, don't say anything because if you say I will and I don't,
Yeah.
devastation.
Yeah. It's true. Like we always do that too. Like she's the more level-headed one. I'm just like, I get ahead of myself with all these shows and I've gotten way better. And obviously you guys know bodybuilding. I mean, literally anything can and will happen.
Yeah.
So, it's sometimes it's hard when it's just like there is a clear winner and it does happen to be your client, but then you don't get the reward and it's just like, come on now, you know?
Yeah. Well, we won, so
Yes, two-time.
2 times. That's crazy. And an overall. That is my very first overall title ever.
Phenomenal.
Ever.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good one to have.
Yeah.
I was telling Chris and Steph, so as I was walking up the steps to go to the stage, I thought to myself, because it was a bucket list, I always wanted to win a sword. Haven't won a sword,
Hmm.
but you get the swords and the overalls. So I was walking up the steps literally, and I said, all right, well, you're never going to win an overall. You're going to win, but you're never going to win an overall. Like, get over it. That was what I was thinking about. Why? I don't know. And then I did.
Yeah.
Like the weirdest thoughts that were coming through. I'm like, I don't know what the universe is doing to me right now, but like it didn't even conceptualize to me that if I won that, there would be an overall. Like I was just so hyper focused on getting up there and doing my job.
Yeah. It's crazy
Crazy.
too, because like when they lined it, obviously there was class, women in every single class. So it was a big group. And as soon as you came out, I was like, she's gonna win this. She's gonna win this one.
I just was watching a video like back, and I really still think I don't see myself because all of the videos I've seen of prejudging, I still go, that's me because I don't see that.
Hmm.
And you don't see
Yeah.
yourself on stage. And it was just my mom there, and she tried, but she was so anxious and like she couldn't get anything. So she said she just gave up and trying to get pictures so that she could just like be there.
Yeah.
So seeing all of those, I'm like, holy shit, I really need to work on actually seeing myself.
Hmm. Speaking of that, after this, I'll send you all my footage. I do have quite a bit.
Okay.
So there's probably some footage that you haven't seen, which is cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For
Ooh,
the record,
behind the
I've always
scenes.
wanted to win a sword too, and I
Like, how do we get a sword? Like,
They don't do
I
swords
have
anymore.
two over here.
I don't understand.
So there was an issue, won't go into all the details, but there was an issue where someone won an overall sword and then attacked people with it. And that's why they no longer do swords.
I
What?
was wondering, I was like, man, every show now it's just the medals. Like they don't do cool things anymore.
You're
'Cause
like a backpack.
yeah,
Yeah.
medals in a backpack. My first national show, I got like a dagger. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, super cool.
But I've never gotten a tiara or a crown, and I've never gotten a sword, and I'm a little bitter about it.
I just got that tiara for the first time, and then
Yeah.
they put it on my head, and then it fell off. I'm like, of course, this is me.
Yeah, it's funny. So she'll always, joke about it, and it's true. I can't disagree with her where she's like, it's a massive accomplishment, to win a pro card.
Mhm.
But she's like, man, if I could just go back and just be like an amateur for a couple more seasons,
And win some shit.
you know, I mean, actually, now the feeling like we're overall where it's like you're the last person standing, and that feeling is just incredible.
I think the pro card wins, that it will settle slowly. I'm not sure that feeling will settle being the overall winner because never, aside from academics, never have I been the best, the winner.
Yeah.
And so that is going to be something that I think about for a very long time.
Yeah, it's amazing. I told, my good friend and client Lisa when she won, and we're all pumped, we're screaming and everything, and I'm like, Lisa, do you understand? You beat every single girl on stage. Like
Mhm.
it's
Yeah,
nuts.
but no swords because everybody has to ruin a good thing.
We'll send you one from Amazon or something.
Yeah, that's what my dad said. I'll buy you a sword.
You need to
We'll get,
start your own show and give out some type of sword, a Nerf sword or something.
we'll get you one of those Minecraft ones.
I
So
think
I
I
gotta
even have
ask, because
some.
obviously, we watched it and everything, and she's got a different point of view, and I have a different point of view. When they announced the second place person, what's going through your head? Like, because I know for me, it was more like I recognized what I had heard, but it's like I wasn't even in my own body. It was just I was like seeing myself accept this, but it's like I wasn't even in my body.
I think so. Winning the master's class, right?
Hmm.
and then immediately being shuffled because they shuffled us off and made us stand there. So we're all high-fiving each other because we all feel awesome.
Yeah.
And then we come back out and then you win the overall, right? So I just literally feel like everything inside of me exploded and I'm like just melted. And then I have to go back in line and stand there and stand around all these girls that just watched me win. And so you're getting all these side eyes, or you're getting the high fives because people are being supportive.
Hmm.
And at that point, I was like, I don't fucking care what happens at this point. Like, I care, but like, I'm, where am I?
Yeah.
And so then when we're standing out there, I'm thinking to myself the whole time they're announcing, I'm like, don't say 81. I didn't have a name that day. I didn't have anything but 81 in my head. I didn't
Mhm.
want to be that girl that missed her number. So that's all I kept. I'm like, don't say 81. Don't say 81. And then she said my name for that. And it just, I don't even think I was there. I just walked.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And so I don't recollect until I went back and watched the videos and then heard everything.
Yeah.
It's like you go blank.
Yeah. I mean, because like we're watching your face and like, but yeah, it's like
I
you said, you just kind of just,
I'll tell you what, when they announced the first win and then the overall win, I was so shocked, like legitimately so shocked. I looked at the right next to the head judge, Tyler. There was a girl, and I wish I knew her name, but she was looking directly at me. And I looked at her like, is this real life? Is this me? And she looks at me and she's like, and the camera guy was like, go. Oh my
that is
God.
awesome.
Uh, so
Man.
I don't know. I think same. I black out, nothing.
Yeah. That's crazy. What was, I mean, I feel like you had like, there's no perfect prep, but I feel like it was such a good prep. Was there anything really, I guess, for the viewers, like what was your hardest moment of prep? Or maybe there really wasn't. Maybe it was just smooth sailing, since we started.
I honestly do not think that I had a hard, like an overly hard day.
Hmm.
Um, that sticks out in particular to me until you'll laugh. So we did our dry run for loading. And
Yeah.
since the show was a Thursday, we did it the Thursday previous. I knew we weren't having refeed like normal Saturday, no problem. I somehow misread your message thinking we were going to load on what was that, Monday,
Yeah, I remember.
right? So Sunday night, I'm like hungry, right? I'm like, okay, Ash, this is your last hard day. I'm saying this out loud. This is
Yeah.
your last hard day. This is the last night you're going to bed hungry. You're going to wake up and you're eating. Because I had prepped all my food because we had a busy next day. We were traveling. And then I wake up to find out I am not eating. And it was actually going to be the next day. And potentially, maybe we almost were going to bump it to Wednesday
Right.
because of personal stuff going on that Tuesday. And so I'm like, holy shit, I am hungry. This is hard. I don't know how I'm going to make it. And I was up in Minnesota by you guys in a hotel by myself,
Yeah.
just with nothing, no extra water, no nothing. I'm like, this is hard. I think that might have been the hardest, and that was probably my fault.
I didn't fault you too. It's just it's the last week, it's prep. We all go through it.
Well, and honestly, having a show in the middle of the week is so weird because I'm
Mhm.
just so used to
Yeah.
Saturday shows. So I think it was just like throwing me off in general. So other
Right.
than that, though, I mean, it was easy.
Yeah. I agree. Just from a coaching standpoint, I feel like I mean, it was like literally like every week you were getting better and better and better. And there literally wasn't any weeks where I'm like, gosh, we didn't make any progress. Like it was literally an improvement from 20 weeks out until a week out.
Yeah,
I
I would
mean,
agree. I mean, obviously, there's a hard days, right? You have
sure.
more fatigue sets in, or you go to the gym and your legs are really sore, they're not recovering, or you're just mentally you're not there, or you're dragging ass. But I mean, there wasn't any massive hurdle. My body did not revolt against me. I didn't have any issues anything.
Yeah. I was always just so happy too when like I would ask for the feedback and everything, and you're like, no, like Chris, like I'm good. Everything's good. And I was like, that's just fantastic. Like
Hmm.
there's no better, there's nothing better than that.
It
So
felt good to say.
yeah.
Do you
So
think that the prep went so smoothly because you had structured off season, that you worked with Chris during that time frame, so the body was already used to structure, so when it came down to just the overall calorie restriction leading up to it, you were like, okay, cool, another day, another dollar.
I really think, and I will admit this, this was probably my absolute best off season. It was probably the first time that I actually stayed true to everything. I didn't do like a little hiatus at any point. I didn't quit anything. So yeah, I think that was a big difference because the only thing that changed was we just slowly dropped stuff. And then at one point, we didn't change anything.
mhm,
So
right.
I think had I just gone bananas and, like competitors do, they're like, oh, I hired you for a show, peace out, I'm out. And then they eat like an asshole. And then they say that their weight gain is bulking and then blah, blah. And then they go get another coach that has no clue what their body's been doing.
Hmm.
And then their prep is, I just feel like hurdle after hurdle after that. So yeah, I really think actually not wanting to disappoint you in that regard kept me on track, and that was probably a big win.
Yeah. It was, I mean, such a good off season too. And like, this is obviously like the perfect story, for anyone listening or anyone that's close that really hasn't taken an off season seriously, or maybe, maybe you're a client that you just kind of take a break from your coach and then you hire him at 16 weeks out thinking that the coach is going to just perform magic in 4 months. Well, I mean, this is the perfect example, because we missed the pro card arguably by one place last year. Um, and the competition was even better this year,
Hmm.
but you just leveled up so much to where you won with a perfect score,
Yeah, that's nuts.
you know.
That's crazy.
So,
I think last season's win, I'm going to call it a win. We
mhm,
won our qualifier, but the second place, third place situation at North Americans, I think set the off season up for me because it was the first time that I felt like I belonged there. I remember we talked about this.
mhm,
Previous to that, I never felt like I belonged on those national stages I was going to. I was just that small fish. After North Americans, I felt a little bit more confident in that what we were doing was right and
mhm.
that I was at that level at that point. So I think that also helped leading into the off season, staying where I was at and what we were doing because I could see where we were going.
Yeah, yeah. And it's the perfect example because not everyone is willing to do those steps, to have a diligent off season, to weigh your meals in the off season, to not drink alcohol or party or hard drugs, whatever it may be.
Hmm.
And it's like there's a lot of people, Ashley, where it's just like, yeah, you get close. I mean, we've talked about them, people that are no longer on the team or, people that you guys know where they get that second place, they're one spot away. And the truth is that they'll probably never see second ever again, you know,
Hmm.
unfortunately.
Hmm.
Yeah, I didn't want that to happen. I'm like, what am I doing this all for? Like, why am I here? And to me, it was if I'm going to get on those stages where girls are fighting for their pro cards and then I'm just going to fuck off, then
Hmm.
I'm taking away opportunity for girls that are wanting that. Then why am I here? If it's not something for me and it's not, if I'm not going to take it away because I'm going to use it or I'm going to keep trying to get there, then what's the actual point? So I think I had to kind of sit back with myself and really do some thinking because it's so easy to get off stage and just go, you know what, I need a break.
Hmm.
But for me, I don't know about you guys, but structure, I thrive with structure and routine. And so I think that's why bodybuilding is such a big thing for me because in some of my most loud mental times or, trying things in life, it was the only thing that kept me kind of together.
Mhm.
So I think in the off seasons previous, I thought I was giving myself a break and doing a good thing where, kind of dabble here, dabble there. Um, but that didn't help me at all mentally. Obviously, physically it didn't.
Mhm.
But so I think sticking through that off season, actually committing to the structure was a big mental piece to why prep was so smooth.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
almost think it's harder. You guys tell me what you think, but I personally almost think it's harder to stay on routine in off season than it is in prep.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's way
Yeah,
too
because we
easy in the off season to be like, well, I'm not in prep right now.
Right.
I can go out there.
structured force feeding is
Yeah.
atrocious. You're like, oh, cool. I'm still full. Guess I got to eat again.
We were talking about one of the last pod we were talking, you said about your client who was trying to eat, his jaw hurt, you were having him
Oh,
chew
with
gum.
with the gum. Yeah.
Yeah, so Chris is giving me all this food leading into
Mhm.
show day, and I'm literally laying on my side in my hotel bed, force feeding food. And I was like, my jaw hurts and my temples. I thought about you. I was like, this is a real thing.
It's a real thing.
This is a real thing.
Yeah.
The
As
amount
I'm
of gum that I
disgustingly
have
crumbling.
purchased. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
People don't want to hear it, but we've all heard it. We probably say the same thing to our clients. Shows are won in the off season.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
like I love it. Our classic pro, Tim Kilo. I've been saying this for a while, but I love it for his check-in. He'll email me the pictures, and whether it's in Telegram or email, he always puts off-season prep. And I just love that. I love when I started seeing him do that because it's like this is just as serious, if not more serious than prep. Because if you don't take it serious,
Mhm.
someone else that is, like an Ashley, is going to beat you when it comes show day.
That was something I told myself a lot during prep was like the moments where I wanted to not do something or I didn't want to do the extra cardio I told myself I would do or whatever it was.
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, but the girl that is gonna win, she did that though. She's actually doing this. She's getting up earlier and getting on the treadmill. She's, cooking this meal and making sure, etc. And so I said that frequently. I'm like, okay, you big baby, but like the winner's gonna do it. So do it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. And now that you've been to the national shows, several times now, like, it's no joke. When you see those ladies, like, it is no joke up there. And that's where, we talk about where people see the pro card, they see the overall win, they see the sword, and they're like, I want that. But then they're not willing to do those things like you were talking about. And that's when they show up on show day and they're just unmatched, you know. They're not in
I
the
can't
right.
even imagine, like the girls are insanely impressive. And I will say the caliber of athlete that was at the show was really high. It was the most competitive girls I've ever stood next to,
Mhm.
legitimately. So I think that even makes the win a bit sweeter because these girls were all deserving of standing there. But as a guy, those dudes are huge.
Yeah.
Like I like they're sitting in like two chairs.
Yeah.
Like I don't like, I couldn't imagine being a man walking in there. So it's mind blowing thinking about what these people are doing to get there. And that's not just one season, one off season. That is years of consistent work. It's not always going to be perfect, but years.
Right.
So it is a eye-opening experience going to that was a really big show.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's, I
I
mean,
love the
we do it
universe. That's
so
one of
many
my
times.
favorite shows.
Yeah, I've heard that quite a bit from people. I had never, obviously, I didn't do that one previous, and I am so glad we chose to go there because it really, as an athlete, it really made me feel in a much better place because if I can go to a show that large and that competitive and I can hold my own, then I belong in the sport.
Hmm. Yeah.
The level of competition that happens at that particular show for both the guys and girls is phenomenal.
Mhm.
But as far as pro qualifiers go, it's probably the most cost effective one to go to. Flying and, staying in Jersey is not tremendously expensive. It's at least half the price as when we flew into Pittsburgh. So if
Yeah, I
I
think
do
it's better
agree.
than Pittsburgh, but well, I guess USA is like Vegas.
yes,
It's
but
super.
there's a lot of backlash that's coming about what's going on with the coaches pass and whatnot. Um, Last year was a huge debacle, and the email that they sent me went pretty viral. And so this year they reduced the fee by almost 50%, which is still an outrageous amount.
For
Hmm.
a
But
coach's pass?
for a coach's pass last year, it was $650 for a coach's pass. And their backstage is not a backstage. It's like a 10 by 10 little area next to the stage, which you could do the same amount of coaching from the lobby. So I told my athlete, I'm like, I'll tell you right now, there's no way I'm going to pay that. So I will gladly meet you 10 feet away from the backstage area and hang out with you there.
Yeah.
But the coach's pass for the universe is $60, 60.
Oh,
So if you're a coach and you have a large team, obviously you don't want to take your athletes somewhere that you, the coach, is being penalized to bring athletes to. Why would I go out of my way to bring a team full of people to an area that doesn't want me there? I
Hmm.
will gladly fly Spirit Airline to go to Jersey and go hang out with my people for a third of the price.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely.
So
That's a lot of money.
it's a lot of money.
It's a
Crazy.
You
lot.
know how
Just
much
to
Chick-fil-A you can buy with $650?
You could have entered the show for that.
I've never had Chick-fil-A.
I
What?
actually haven't either, to be
we
honest.
we haven't had it, Eric.
You know what? Your tummy might not be able to handle it. They fry everything in peanut
Sure,
oil.
sure.
Oh,
But for those of you who can, it's quite delicious.
I might try it on a
But if
Saturday.
but if you want to make your own, fun fact, the way that their chicken is so moist all the time, even going through a fryer, is because they brine it with pickle juice. So you can do the same thing at home and make your own.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
Huh.
Top
No, I'm gonna
secret.
try it. Don't tell anyone.
As the coach is right there.
He sees on my next check-in, had Chick-fil-A. Didn't make that secret recipe though.
Well, you've earned it.
This is actually, I was telling Sam, I didn't, I'm hungry. I want to eat, but I want to eat my normal food. I just want to
Mhm.
have rice back and potatoes back and fruit back. Like, I'm not looking forward to slamming snacks and meals and all the things that people think you want to do and all the sweets.
Mhm.
I just want to eat my normal food.
Steak and eggs, right?
Steak and eggs. It's always a steak for me. My
Yeah.
mom, my mom made us steak and lobster last night,
Oh,
and she's like, "Well, you probably don't want this because you've been eating steak like twice a day for the last 6 months." I'm like, "How dare you? I want my steak." I didn't weigh this one out. This one has the good seasonings on it. It's
yeah.
been soaking in juices. No, and there's butter on that lobster.
It never gets old. So, all
No,
right, next time I see you, we got to go to a Brazilian steakhouse.
Texas de Brazil is one of my favorite restaurants.
Oh,
Yeah.
we love it. How about you, Eric? Yeah,
Oh,
Yo,
yeah.
Brazilian steakhouse, anytime,
anytime.
anytime.
Yeah.
And so I love going to them because everyone is going to be slightly different, especially if you go lunchtime or dinner time.
Mhm.
You know, warm pineapple is always delicious. But I went to one a couple weeks ago because I'm fat, and they brought out the cheese that doesn't melt. And I'm drawing a blank on that name, but you know what I'm talking about, that warm cheese.
Saganaki, the stuff
No,
that's on fire.
yeah, the place that's here, they have the cheese and then they put the honey over it.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Oh,
It's delicious.
the warm honey.
What?
Yeah.
Catch me Googling cheese and honey over here.
It's
Well, if you've never had hot honey on your pizza, it'll change your world.
someone just told me
Hot?
about this the other day. Yeah.
What?
Hot honey on pizza, it'll change your world. His daughter won't eat pizza without it now, ever since I had her try
You
it.
got her hooked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to try it now.
yeah.
There, there's a bunch of different ways to do it. There's a deep dish pizza place near where I grew up. And when you get the deep dish, it's not normal crust. It's made with like a cornmeal. So
Oh,
when they bring out the pizza, they bring you a jar of honey. And initially, the first time you're like, what are you doing? I just want ranch. And they're like, no, 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 you don't understand. When you get to the last part where you're just holding the chunk of crust, you drizzle it with honey.
Mm.
Ah,
Wow.
I bet it's great.
it's so good.
That does sound really, really good.
And you're like, I got to do cardio.
You're doing cardio at your home on your treadmill, eating your crust.
Worth it.
We call that a digestion
Adult
walk.
choices were made.
That's the best part about being a grown up.
Speaking of adult choices, I always ask people this because I'm always intrigued on people's thoughts for it. When you get judges' feedback, and I always tell people, especially ones that are kind of dabbling, they're not sure how far they really want to take it in the bodybuilding world. Like, do you really want to pursue the pro card and whatnot? You're going to get judges' feedback. And I always say, you got to take it with a grain of salt because they're looking at something, but you're the one who has to live with that body day in and day out. And an off-season body versus a contest prep body is going to fit in clothes and cars completely differently. Knowing what you know now and how your body fluctuates between holding water retention and whatnot, moving forward, one, what do you as the athlete want to do with your body? What are you comfortable with doing? Because now going from the amateur rank now into the professional rank, obviously you want to win. What are the things that you feel that you as the athlete want to do and what are you comfortable with doing? Because we see some of these girls and they're monsters.
Yes.
Mhm.
I mean, I walk around at, a fluffy 280 plus pounds. I don't fit into economy seats on an airplane.
When you said fit in cars, I was like, yeah, same. I don't fit in cars.
Just let me squeeze in there.
I'm not sure that's a problem I've ever had. I think add that to the list of as an athlete what I want. I want to have a problem getting in a car.
Go to Mexico, rent a smart car so you feel extra big.
Illusions.
Yeah, that is bodybuilding, the illusion.
I think so I have a strong feeling about amateurs going into pro and then them immediately within that year or so getting on stage. A lot of them I don't think are ready to get on stage at that point. So I'm pretty realistic knowing that I am nowhere near competitive to get on a pro stage and win. I was good enough to get this spot, but I know I need to overall put some size on in general. I'm not afraid to get bigger. I don't need to get as big as women's physique and bodybuilding, but if we can put some density on, I welcome it. I've gotten into a place where if I need to level up a size in pants, shirts, I'm okay with that because I know that there's a reason for it because as you know, as you diet down, you see it and then it makes sense. So I'm really I don't know this world now. This is new. I've never thought I would get there. So what Chris thinks is the appropriate moves for being a competitive pro, I welcome it. Whatever it is, whatever that looks like, whatever that means, we haven't gone in a wrong direction yet. So I'm wide open. It's just like I just need new clothes all the time.
I love that question, Eric. I love it. So it puts things in perspective.
Yeah, because there's a lot of psychological stuff that goes with it. If you had asked yourself, or if you had told yourself when you were younger, as you started to work out, the things that would happen as you got bigger that you wouldn't have ever thought about. Like if you had told yourself at 140 pounds, hey, when you hit 240 pounds, it's going to be really awkward to sit on the toilet. And you'd be like, what a weird thing to say. And then it becomes a reality. You're like, oh, I guess I have to stand up to wipe now.
Yeah.
I found this in the shower when I was like exfoliating before my tan. I had to buy one of those scrub brushes on a handle because I couldn't get my arms this way anymore because there's more size, actual more size. And so I'm finding myself pushing my elbow from with my other hand to like reach. So you're not wrong. There's things that I think probably I won't even know until it happens.
Hmm.
But I'm like excited for that.
Yeah. I mean, Eric, I knew, like I said, we've known for a year and a half that she'd be all in.
Oh
So
yes.
it was just a matter of graduating, getting to the level that she did. Um, it's funny. I mean, we already have a plan. She's already got the program. We've already talked about the plan. It's back thickness. Of course, you could never be too wide. So if we put a little width, some thickness, she's going to come in with an even more incredible package. So I'm excited to see it.
Yeah,
It's going to be good.
I'm honestly here for it all, and I'm also really good at knowing that I'm not going to get on stage until we know for sure it's going to be worth getting on stage. I
Mhm.
don't want to waste a time. I'm not the kind of person that's like just show for fun,
Yeah.
or just try it out. I don't play competitive sports for fun. Yeah, it's fun to do. I enjoy it, but I do it for the competition and to ultimately win. So I am not going to waste my time and their time if it's not right. So I can sit and chill in an off season and do whatever we got to do as long as possible because the stage is always there.
Hmm.
Yeah. And it's exciting too. I mean, like, because you're gonna get there and you're gonna get there, and then now you get to go through a brand new experience, like she's experienced where you hit your pro debut and it's like you've officially leveled up, you know.
I can't even imagine what that feels like because it's got to be so different because your whole career you're chasing the win.
Hmm.
Yes, you're still chasing the win as a pro, but now you're standing next to girls who have all done that. You've all done that. You're all there. You're a whole different breed at this point. Like that's got to be such a different feeling.
The athlete check-ins are dramatically different as far as like the environment. I noticed that every pro show that we've ever been to for the check-ins, everyone is significantly calmer and just relaxed. They're just like, cool, we're here. Let's get these numbers. Let's take our pictures and let's go back to the room and eat.
Yep.
That's kind of how I felt I was this time. I think I knew my body was telling me we were here. We were going to do it because I did the same thing. I was like, why am I stressing? Why is everybody, angry at each other? Why are y'all sizing each other up? Why are why? I'm gonna go say I'm here. You're gonna measure me, and then I'm gonna go hide. I
Mhm.
got the hotel across the street, so I didn't have to be in the middle of all of it.
Oh, you get the
And
best hotel too. That one's way better than the host
Oh
hotel.
yes.
Yeah.
we got the side that has the kitchenettes or whatever.
Yeah.
So we had a full suite, which was
Yeah.
awesome.
That's where we stay when we go
Mhm.
there. Once
Every
we
time.
figured it out, we were
Yeah.
like, why
Oh,
have
And
we
it,
stayed
and it
at
was
the hotel?
cheaper.
oh
Yeah.
yeah. Well, and every time we would walk over to the Marriott, it was like there it just I don't know about you
People
guys, but
everywhere.
yeah, and I'm more of a I cover myself up, long sleeves, sweatpants because I don't want people looking at me because that makes me feel insecure, not because I'm worried. So that it's like a mind game for me. So I just throw on my baggy clothes and I go on my way. Going over there every time, it was like usually there's people everywhere and everybody knows what you're doing. So everybody's just staring and it's just weird. So I take my baggy homeless clothes and I went across the street and I ate my steak in my little suite and I didn't socialize anywhere.
No, you just
Yes.
got a chance to look out the window and see the beautiful freeway.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had like a crumbling, looked like I don't know what if it was like a church or something was right there. They were trying to fix it, it looked like, but that's what we had. And then the highway in the back.
Yeah, I always forget it's only a freeway out here. Everywhere else, it's a highway.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
because taxes.
Mm.
So for the viewers, I want to rewind just a few days here, and you can dive in as deep or as much as you want, Ash. So I want you to kind of tell the viewers leading to this huge accomplishment, some of the hurdles that you had to go through within the last couple of days. Uh, and it just goes to show you that, a positive mindset, perseverance, it's like these hurdles are just irrelevant at the end of the day.
I will say, if this was last season, it would have crumbled me, that's for sure. And it's all small things. They're all, first world problem that was going on. But last year, it would have been too much. Like, it just seemed like it was one thing after another. And I'm a big believer in universal things. You put out good, you get good. Things happen for a reason at the right time for you, whether it's a good reason or a bad, doesn't matter. But it was like, it felt like the universe was really trying to tell me, you are not going to the show because you are not going to win. And I think it started all the way back, rest in peace, CJ, when she passed away, because she was making my suit,
Mhm.
because my suit last year, she didn't know, but the glue she used was expired and all my stones fell off. So she was going to make me a new suit. And so we just let it hang for, I don't know, the whole off season.
Mhm.
And then she got sick. And so, okay, we shifted. They were kind enough to refund the athletes. It was great. Found somebody new that ultimately ended up not working out. I lost money, about $500 of my money. And so Chris found someone else who, she is amazing. She calls me at 10 p.m., doesn't know who I am, a week out from show, and made me a suit. She FaceTimed me every day just to prove to me she was making my suit. But
Wow.
then it came down to the point where it wasn't going to get here on time because she said she was going to make it simple. And then she started going and realized that she liked to do more. So she worked on it longer. So she overnighted my suit to New Jersey. So I flew from home without a suit, number one, stressful.
Mhm.
That was number one. Our flights. So I was in a personal, I was at court for all of Tuesday. I'm supposed to fly out for my show Tuesday night at 7:30. Court takes a recess at, I think it was maybe 3:30. Flights got canceled. So I'm like, okay, I don't have a flight. I don't have a suit. I don't have a flight. Great. But I got to turn my phone back off because I got to go back into court. So then I get out way late. We finally get on flights at 6 o'clock in the morning for the next day. We land to find out as we hit the runway that our rental car canceled on us. And you're fine, we can figure it out. But my mom and I are not city people. We didn't plan on that. And everything was already happening. So we were already like this. And then we get on the ground and we have no idea where we are because we had to fly to New York because they rerouted us to New York instead of New Jersey.
Mhm.
So I'm calling Sam and I am not nice. I'm like, he's sleeping, this poor man. I'm like, you need to figure this out for me. And then my mom's like, I don't know where we are. And we're freaking out. And so I tell her, I'm like, is my suit even here? Like, now that we're here and our car's not here, is my suit actually here? So I'm just stressing out at the airport. Paid $100 Uber to take us to
Oh.
uh, the hotel, which is the only rental car they had, which bless Sam's heart, he got it the night before. It was an $800 rental car, no refunds. So actually, the rental car we had before that was in New Jersey. So that was a non-refundable that we finally got the money back for. Then the second rental car was almost $1,000 non-refundable. Thank goodness we got the money back.
Mhm.
So I'm like, what is going on here? Like,
Mhm.
am I gonna get there? And then when I get there, what's gonna happen next is how I felt. And then it was, I didn't bring any of my food because we were gonna have a car. We were gonna drive to the store.
Mhm.
So we had to figure out how to get everything delivered to us at the hotel and everything that I forgot to tell you this, Chris. Everything I put in the Instacart, the shopper would message me and say, it's out, it's out. It's out. I'm like, okay. I'm like, Mom, here we go. But it all worked out. My suit was there. We finally made it. The Instacart showed up with my steak.
Yep.
It was, it just felt like, okay, what's next?
Hmm.
Like, can anything else happen? We were checking the weather because our storm's going to reroute it. It just, it seemed like the world didn't want me to show up. And Sam had told me, because I called him, I was trying not to cry, but I just finally felt so overwhelmed with just everything because I was so excited. I'm like, we have a chance. We actually have a chance here. And everything feels like it's crumbling apart. And I remember I called him and he said, maybe this is the universe telling you that just like everything else, you have to fight until the very end to earn that win. And it was like that phrase was enough for me to go, okay, you're right, calm down. We're here, we'll figure it out. And we did, thank goodness.
Mhm.
Hmm.
It
I'm
was not
I
awesome.
like I told you, I wasn't in it, obviously. I know that's different. But I was perfectly calm. I'm like, we got this. And Sam and I were talking because he was giving me all the details, and I was like, we still got this.
And,
I'm
and truthfully, like kudos to you guys because it really goes to show you why you need to have a coach that you trust, not just trust to make good calls, like you trust.
not,
Because I knew that no matter what, between you two and me, we would make whatever happen. If
Mhm.
somebody needed to send some type of suit, if we needed to figure whatever, it was going to get figured out. So I think that was a definitely a big help knowing that you guys weren't going to allow that to stop us from getting to where we needed to go.
Yeah, no way. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't even like my heart rate didn't go up. I was like, no, she's gonna get there and we're gonna win. Like we got
Well,
this.
I kept telling my mom, I'm like, I need to woosah because at this point where my body is at, if I start stressing out, it will show. Like
Yeah.
we will know. And I just flew on a day I didn't want to fly. I wanted to be there a day earlier. And
Mhm.
I do end up retaining. My fingers get all swollen and stuff. So I'm like, I need to like chill out because if I sit here and stress, we will be puffy. And then Chris is gonna go, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, and for you, all you coaches out there, it's this stuff happens all the time. It happens at every show. Something's going to happen. It doesn't always go to plan, and you have to remain calm. Your athletes are paying you to navigate the ship, to be calm, to figure out the next plan, whatever it may be. So I knew just stay calm. It's going to be fine, and we're still going to battle. You know.
Yeah, previous me seasons before, I mean, I've done an immense amount of mental work in the last couple of years, just, because growth, personal growth. But me a couple seasons ago, that would not have been good. It wouldn't have ended up good. I wouldn't have been in a good space. We would not have gotten the result because I would have tanked myself at that point, and then I would have ripped that experience away just from mentally not being there.
Mhm. And I knew too, like I knew once you had messaged me that the food was there, I knew you'd flip the switch back on and we were right back to game plan.
Yeah, I just needed to check the list of things. Like, I've arrived here. I have a hotel room. Because my mom and I were even joking, is our reservation even in there? Like,
Yeah.
everything that we were doing, we're like, is this even happening? So we were just waiting for the guy to say, oh, you actually don't have a room. I'm like, well, we're sleeping outside then because I'm here. So once I was able to check that, and then my food showed up because I hadn't gotten to eat and I was behind. You're
Yeah.
like, what meal are you on? I'm like, one half.
I know I'm like 1.5. All right. That's okay. We got
I had my peanut butter.
yeah. I was like, no, we still got this.
Yeah, there's nothing in Teaneck, by the way.
Right.
So
Nope.
the
Nope, you,
competitors
you
that
got to
go
go
to
to Edgewater.
Universe do
Yeah.
not plan on anything being around you because
Yeah.
it isn't.
No, there's nothing in Teaneck. You got to go to Edgewater. That's why I tell everyone, I'm like, don't rely on an Uber or a Lyft because you'll spend a fortune
Yeah.
and it'll still take you forever. Just rent a car and Plan out your trips. Know that you either have to drive to Edgewater or you're going to have to drive the opposite direction an additional 25 minutes and just get used to everyone giving you the finger.
And that was like our plan. We're like, oh, kick ass. We're gonna get a rental car. We'll slow cruise. We'll check some things out. We'll go to a store, no stress, no problem. So not having the car really threw that off. But thank goodness for DoorDash and Instacart.
No kidding.
Well, and Steph, you were mentioning how miserable it was when you guys were there for you to try to do that. So I had that in my mind. I was like, Mom, Steph said like it sucks out here for Ubers and driving. So what are we gonna do?
There's no good way.
Yeah.
It sucks to drive. We've done both. We've rented the car, and I always get to be the driver. I mean, it took us 3 hours to go to the gym, and I was at my wit's end.
No,
While
The
everyone
roads
no.
the roads don't make any sense there. You're in a residential, instantly on a highway, back to a residential. You're like, what are
Yeah.
we doing here?
And then if you try and cross over into New York, I mean, forget about it. That's why the Ubers are so expensive, is because if you are crossing any toll, the tolls there are so spendy.
Yeah, we got that
Yeah.
that receipt afterwards, and I was reading the things. I'm like, we were literally in New York for a total of
Yeah.
like 4 minutes, and I paid at least $45 in
Oh,
fees and tolls
Mhm.
for that, which worth it, but insane. We decided it was a blessing in disguise that we didn't have that rental car from New York because I wouldn't have been able to drive. That was really stressful.
It
The
was.
traffic, it would not have worked out well for my mom and I. So it really kind of worked out for us. So it almost seems like all of these ridiculous things that were happening were for a reason.
mhm.
That's what I'm going with.
Yeah.
And it's a great story.
Yeah, it's me. Nothing is ever just easy, which is fine because I learned my lessons and things having to deal with it, and that's fine. But it just kind of went along with everything. I'm like, of course. Why is this gonna end up easy? Why is this gonna go smooth? But prep went smooth, so I kind of sat back once things kind of chilled out, and I got the AC going so I could cool down. And I was sitting down. I'm like, everything up until this week was smooth sailing. So why crumble all your hard work and all the stuff we've been doing because of a rental car or because we got in at, 7:30 in the morning instead of midnight? So it kind of I had to reverse myself a little bit and remind myself that like we didn't just explode the last year and a half of work. It's a moment.
True.
Mhm.
That's a good way to look at it.
I had to. I think I would have went crazy.
So
Well,
looking into the future of your glass crystal ball, do you have a show that's in the back of your mind that you're like, hey, I'd like to do that for my pro debut? Have you thought about that yet?
Um, no, but I do know that because I live in Illinois, so I do know that the Chicago Pro is here, and a lot of people really like that show, and it's close. And so the only reason I would say I would maybe think about that one is because a lot of my friends and family are really sad that my last couple years of shows have been so far. So I might consider that, but honestly, I don't care. I'm not like married to anything.
actually, I already had Chicago Pro in my head for you.
That's
So
funny.
we're literally on the same wavelength here.
Well, and that's funny too because that guy, that one coach I told you was talking to me backstage,
Yeah.
he wanted me to go to the Chicago Pro like what is that, in a few weeks, a month
One
or so or
week.
whatever. Yeah, he's
Ridiculous.
like I beat two of his athletes. They were in my classes, and between prejudging and finals, I didn't know this, but he came up to me and he's like, I really hope that you didn't beat my girls. I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, you blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, for my sake, I hope I did. I didn't know what to say at that point. And
Yeah.
so I'm texting Chris. I'm like, I don't know what to say here. I feel really awkward because he just kept going, but he's a really nice guy. But he's like, I'm going to be out in the Chicago Pro. He's like, you should do it if you win. I'm like, no, man, I'm bottom of the barrel at this point. I am not ready to get on the pro stage. No way. And he's like, so just do it. I'm like, if I'm getting on that stage, especially at home, with
Yeah.
people who can come see me, I'm gonna knock it out of the park.
We'll be there.
Well, I hope so.
Well, obviously.
Pizza party.
Let's go, Eric. Come
Yeah.
on.
It's a business write-off. Let's go.
Yeah.
Is there one that you like?
Me?
They're all fun.
All of you.
Oh, I was already thinking we do Chicago Pro. It just makes sense.
Yeah. I
Chicago
mean,
Pro, great show. The hidden gem that no one ever talks about, and I'm always surprised, and it's such an amazing venue, and it's so well run. Tupelo Pro.
hmm
Hmm.
It's it is in the middle of nowhere, so you need to rent a car because there's no easy way to get there.
I'll
But
rent three. The one works.
it's worth a little bit of a road trip from the nearest airports. Like I think it took us like 3.5 hours to get there from the airport,
Mhm.
but
I
it's a
have
great show.
I
It
have heard good
really
things
is.
about Tupelo.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of just like gonna soak it in and be like, all right, wherever makes sense, whatever works. Like, I really want to get myself now into the world of getting a little bit more involved in shows like in my area and things like that because I've always wanted to. I was just telling Chris this,
Hmm.
expediting, helping with shows, like reaching out to promoters. I never felt like I was able to, but now that I'm at this point, now I'm feeling like I have a little bit more like, foot in the door for that. So I'm like just kind of gonna be. Oh.
I already sent the message out, Ashley. So I'll let you know as soon as I get a reply.
Yeah, so any of you promoters out there, you want help?
She's your girl.
Every girl. I'm even telling the spray tan girls, I'm like, man, I kind of want to learn how to do that. I want to travel and spray and meet and just be.
Oh man, those girls have such long days.
They work. The one girl told
I
me
don't
she
envy
loves
that
it.
piece.
It's definitely, I mean, the people who were working, I think it was the company was called ICE,
Yeah.
Hmm.
at Universe. They worked like that was what they were there Wednesday to Saturday. That was a
That,
lot.
Yeah.
that's a lot of people. The universe usually has the better part of like 1,000 competitors,
Oh yeah. At least.
and everyone's getting
Yeah.
two coats, sometimes three.
And they are one of the only companies that I've actually seen fixing tans in the back and fixing the makeup that they did. Because usually they tell you that, they'll touch you up, but it really not often do they really do that. They actually were stopping people fixing underneath their boobs, under their suits, or by their butt cheeks, or like their belly button areas, like by choice. So they were great. Shout out to them.
Awesome. Well, as we wrap this up, Ashley, I kind of want you to speak out to the viewers. This would be for anyone. It can be male, female, where they see someone like you just do this huge accomplishment. They want to get to that level. What are the things they need to do like you did when you're kind of at the cusp? Let's say you're in second or third place. It doesn't have to be a pro card. This could just be at a local level trying to get that sword, right? What are the one or two things they need to do to make sure that they're the last person standing?
So let's take out the get a good coach, make sure you have the financial stuff, right? That's just, I feel like everybody just needs to make sure they have that.
Mhm.
I think the biggest thing, and a lot of people have a hard time doing this, is literally looking at themselves in the mirror and saying, where am I lacking physically and where am I lacking mentally? And then start picking those pieces, not apart, but actually looking at them and going, okay, I'm lazy. I'm an active person, but I'm lazy. I'm not getting up extra early to redo my schedule to make my life more efficient so that I get more sleep, things like that. That was one of the big things that I did was look at myself and go, okay, you're a good athlete, you're doing good. I could have just kept skating that way. But I thought to myself, all right, you really, really need to have a true talk with yourself. You're not the best. You are not operating at the best because you didn't win. The girl that won, she was operating better than you. So what were you not doing? So I think people really need to sit back and realize that this sport requires that. You have to be okay with knowing where you're failing because I feel like that's the only way to get better. You can have a good coach, you can check the boxes, but if you're making excuses and you're allowing, subpar behavior for yourself, you're not going to go anywhere. So I think that is probably like the top tier. And then truthfully, you need to just stop making fucking excuses. I was making excuses. I can say that like without knowing it. Like, no, I'm tired. I said I'm going to do 30 minutes of cardio before bed. I'll just do 30 extra minutes tomorrow. Well, why? Because then you're snowballing, right? And you're making reasons why that's okay, when in reality it really isn't.
Mhm.
There's literally no reason for that. So that's what I would suggest for people because those were the two really big changes that I made in the off season was like stop gaslighting yourself into thinking that you're actually operating like a pro. Because I feel like a lot of people do, or maybe they get like a false sense of ego.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Ego is good, but to a part. The confidence part of your ego is good, but then that's when all the excuses and the things start happening.
Yeah. I love that. Perfectly said.
That's just my opinion, though, and it led me to two pro cards. So,
I'd say you're onto something.
I mean, you see it. It's just, I don't know if it's because, like, when you get in prep, you start stopping accepting excuses because you can't have them. Like,
Can't.
you have to do what you have to do, right? So, like, you just start to see where people are lacking in allowing that to happen. And so I always get that way, but it was definitely this year was like, all right, you are legitimately making your own reasons why you're not winning, period. It's simple. Go to bed, drink your water, eat your food, lift your weights, recover. Listen to your coach. Stop making changes on your own. I
Yeah.
could talk about that forever.
So key.
I think we all can. Like, we all know someone.
Next pod.
And we will. We will on the next one.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
Well, this has been great, you all. Obviously, Ashley, massive congratulations. We're so
Thank
thrilled.
you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you so much. Like you three, I talked to all three of you on that day, and I appreciate the love and the support. And it felt like obviously genuine love and support. So that was a big thing for sure.
Absolutely. We're here for
Yeah.
you.
Yes.
What I
Well,
heard out of that is she's buying dinner.
Yeah, at the Brazilian
At the
steakhouse.
Brazilian
right.
steakhouse. We're all getting the
And
cheesy
It's a good idea.
honey cheese.
Honey
yeah,
and
well
cheese.
now I'm gonna be sending you guys pictures of the honey pizza that I gotta find.
I know. Well, you can just buy
Next,
Mike's hot honey and put it over your pizza.
yeah, duh. Well, next time we come up to Minnesota, we will go to a steakhouse and enjoy that.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
for sure.
100%.
Hmm.
All right,
Hmm.
y'all. This has been great. We will definitely catch you guys on the next one.
Yes. See you later. Have a good night.
Bye.
See you guys.